Church, Pastor here. Just got a quick video we want to share with you about Sunday services. For the last 8 weeks, this has been our church. We've been meeting in the parking lot through these drive-in services, and they have been wonderful, and I've thoroughly enjoyed them. But if you're like me, I'm ready to get back inside the building. Well, folks, I have good news for you. This Sunday, May 24th at 10:30, we're planning to be back in the building for our first morning service in over 2 months. And we hope that you'll join us. I want to give you a little information so that you know what to expect this Sunday when you come. And so we're going to show you some different things throughout the building here so that everybody knows what to expect and how to handle this first Sunday back. Well, we want to welcome you home back to church services in the building, and we're so thankful that you're here, and we're looking forward to a great service today. We want to give you a little information here, some details on when you first arrive. When you get here, if you're planning to listen in your car on the FM receiver, we have that set up for you. I know several people expressed that desire. We want you to pull in the parking lot, and when you pull in, go immediately to the right and park behind the office building over by the play structure in that area, and you'll be able to hear a speaker that's set out for you. Plus that FM transmitter will be working. So that's where we want you to park. Everybody else just pull into the parking lot like normal. You can take the asphalt spots in all the parking lot and just fill up like you normally would. Somebody will be out here to greet you in the parking lot. The doors for the auditorium will not open until 10 o'clock. And so if you're real early, you can listen to the receiver there on your radio. But we won't open at 10 o'clock. We'll have an usher greet you at the door, and he will actually walk you into your seat. And we're just taking some precautions, trying not to cross paths a lot, get people in, get them seated, and that type of thing. So you'll be greeted and met at the door and then taken to your seat. When you enter the building, we will be using the front door here, the double doors. We'll also be using the door that nobody ever comes in. It's an exit only, really, but over here by the Sunday School and Fellowship Hall building on the back of the building. We'll be using that door as well for public entrance. The door over here behind the office building where the people are parking for the FM transmitter, that door is going to be used just to allow the handful of folks that said we'd like to practice social distancing, maybe even wear a mask. We've got a special section in the auditorium, which you'll see here in just a minute, but we want you to enter and exit through that door as well. And so there's 3 exits, 3 entrances, and everybody that's regular folks will use the middle entrance and the side over here by the fellowship hall, and those that are practicing social distancing will use the one over here behind the office. So that's what you can expect when you first arrive. Welcome! Come on in! Again, welcome home. Welcome back to our church services here inside the building. And again, I want to just give you some details what to expect once you're inside. When you come in, you'll be handed a bulletin. Your tithe envelope, if you're going to be a giver this week, will be inside that bulletin for you. That will not be in the chairs in the auditorium, so make sure you get it from there to give. We're going to ask you while you're here not to congregate in the lobby. I know you want to, and you're going to be glad to see everybody. We're going to ask you to avoid congregating out in the lobby here at this time. A couple other things here for you. I know this is a hard announcement to make, but we're going to ask you not to do any hugging this week, okay? If somebody comes up to hug you, no, stay away, all right? We're also going to ask that there's no handshaking at this time. I know, no, can't do it. We're going to ask you to stay away from that. The restrooms are open, but we would ask you if you can, try to use the facilities before you come. We'd like to try not to use those too often. If somebody does have to use those, that's fine. But we'd ask that no more than 2 people in the bathroom at a time, just to help with some precautions here. The drinking fountain is also going to be closed down. If somebody does have an emergency needs a drink, there will be some water bottles on the table behind me, and those will be accessible for you. After you've been given your bulletin and you've maybe said hi and howdy and that type of thing starting to come in, we would ask you also, you're used to the couch being here, please don't sit on the couch. No, don't sit on the couch. We're going to ask you to stay off the couch for us, please, just for the next few weeks. As you kind of follow me through the lobby here, you'll also notice there's a table here behind me. On this table will be several things we want you to know about. There are some masks. If you feel like you need a mask and you want to wear that through the service, you'll be more than happy to take one from the table there. We'll be happy to have you have that. There's also some water bottles that will be there. And then you'll notice on the corner here, come on up here, you'll notice there is a little hand sanitizer station. That is a touch-free station. There will be 5 of these here in the lobby and throughout the auditorium. So if you need to use a little hand sanitizer while you're here, those are there for you. So we would ask you just to help us out. Again, these are just some extra precautions to make sure we have a safe Sunday and we don't spread anything. And we appreciate you helping out with those types of things. Last thing I'll mention too is the nursery will be closed off. There is a changing table in the ladies' restroom. If a lady has a baby that needs changed, we would ask you to use that for the next few weeks as you help us out with coming back here and getting things back to normal in the house of the Lord. All right, well, you made it this far. Now it's time to enter the sanctuary. Again, we're looking forward to this service, and we want to just give you a few sets of instructions here on what we're planning to do for seating. We took the survey, and we had an overwhelming response, so we've tried to accommodate everybody else as well. And so we want to kind of show you how we plan to have you seated. As that usher greets you at the door and brings you in to be seated, we are going to seat from the front to the back. Again, that just keeps us from crossing paths so much. So you'll be seated from the front to the back, and I'll kind of show you how the sections are laid out here for you if you want to follow us into the sanctuary. We'll show you what we're planning to do for this Sunday. Here to my left, which as you enter the sanctuary will be your right, this is basically set up for some single individuals that come. And in the back there are a few more seats for maybe a small family or that type of thing to sit. Some of these front ones will be reserved for our choir. After they have sung, they'll come down and be able to have a seat up there and not have to cross paths with people as well. If you come around this way and look here from the front of the auditorium and you kind of look back towards the nursery window there, this entire section is just for couples. We have many couples that will be here, and so we'll encourage you to sit in this section. Again, we'll start at the front. A few chairs might have a reserve sign on it. That is for a purpose, and just kind of honor that if you would, but we'll have an usher seat you from the front to the back, and we'll fill up this section with couples. Right over here to my right, here by the piano, you can kind of see these are set out in 4s and 3s, and this is for families. If you're a little bit larger than a 4 or a 3, I know we have probably a couple like that, then you can take a couple rows. We'll work all that out, and the usher will help you. But as you enter the door, he'll ask you how many, and he'll know where to seat you then accordingly from that. So this is our family section, and we're hoping to fill that up as well. And I'm going to take you to one more section here back at the back. If you'll kind of follow me, this is back in the back of the auditorium here across from the sound booth. We did have a few folks that said we'd rather sit 6 feet apart. We'd like to even maybe wear a mask while we're in here. And so we're trying to accommodate that as well and give you that opportunity without being in your car. Some will be in their cars, but some wanted that. So we've made a little section back here. It's curtained off a little bit, so that'll help with anything coming through this area. And there's about 8 seats in here, maybe 9. There are more seats than that, but some of those will be marked off for people not to sit in. So it'll be reserved, so there's about 6 feet between every seat. And there's a couple up here in the front for our husband and wife to sit at that had requested that as well. So this will be for you. And if you'll notice here to my left, right here are the exit and entrance door for the 8 or 9 folks that said they'd rather sit back here in a place like this. That'll be your entrance and your exit after the service is over. We'll have you dismissed out that way. So again, we're trying to accommodate everybody, and we just trust that you'll be patient. If we need to make some changes and some tweaking, we'll do so. But we look forward to trying this for the first Sunday back this Sunday. All right, another section of this video. Let me give you just some things on what to expect during the service. The service will run pretty much like normal. We'll have some singing. We'll have special music. We'll have preaching. Our songs will be on the screens. We will not have the hymn books out or anything like that like we did when we first started closing down. Our offering will be a little bit different as well. We have the offering box on the back wall. We'll have an offering plate here in front of the pulpit. We'll have one over here by the sound booth. We'll have one out in the lobby as well. And what we'd ask you to do is if you have your offering ready early, then when you come in to be seated, drop that in one of those buckets if you would. But if you need to do it on the way out, we're going to try to dismiss from sections as well, and you can use one of those areas to drop your offering off. The choir will sing again. We'll have a special, and we'll do some preaching and, of course, our prayer, and just have a good service together. So pretty normal there. Again, if you're not comfortable coming inside yet and you said, man, I'd rather sit in my car, 88.7 for the FM transmitter. You'll park over here to my right here of the auditorium, behind that office building section. Pull in there. There'll be a speaker outside as well as the FM receiver, our transmitter working for you at 88.7. And what we'll do is put some sort of offering receptacle out there, and you can just drop your offering in that bucket before you leave as well. That way you're cared for as well for your giving. All right, one last piece of information here for you with some details. As we prepare to leave the service, we will have our ushers again dismiss by row. I'd like to joke and say kind of like a funeral, we'll dismiss you by rows. We'll dismiss our at-risk folks back here first, and they will use that exit there on the other side of the auditorium, and we'll get them dismissed first. Then the ushers will come to your row and dismiss you. Again, if you need to use an offering receptacle, you can find one and drop that in on your way out. We will dismiss as you're leaving, as the ushers are flowing people out. We will have some people exiting through these doors, as well as some people exiting through the door behind me here. And so just follow your usher's instructions and they'll get you out. Just trying to control the traffic flow a little bit there. And again, I ask you on the way out, please don't congregate in the lobby. I know you want to, and we're getting to be back in God's house, which is wonderful, but we'd ask you just to help us with a few of these precautions, please. As far as other things going on in the church, we will not, at this time, have our Sunday school, ROTC, Junior Church Nursery. Those facilities will be shut down right now. The future plans, obviously, are to get those back up and running just as soon as we possibly can, and it's safe to. But we do plan on having at least our Sunday morning services in person here, and then probably in a week or so, we're going to do Wednesday service over in the Fellowship Hall area, so I encourage you to check that out when it happens as well. So we look forward to seeing you Sunday. I am so excited. I know the songs that we're going to be singing. I know the specials that are going to be sung, and I prepared the message, and I'm just looking forward to being together with God's people in God's house, and I hope that you'll be here and join us. Bring a friend, and I know we'll have a good time together. So we'll see you May 24th. Can't wait to welcome you home.